All right, let's make it happen. Hey, everybody. Well, this is going to be a little bit of a different stream today. We're heading into the direction that we're ultimately heading in, which is basically the idea is down the road, once we've kind of gotten through the major backlog of sets, which I mean, it's going to take a while. It's always going to take a while. But at some point, when I'm through enough of it, especially the ones that are like in cardboard shipping boxes or stuff like that, which obviously looks a little bit more ugly, at some point we're going to move into doing a little bit more of like custom builds, where we take things like where, you know, like I have all these ideas of things I want to do with the city that don't relate as heavily to existing Lego sets. Like maybe they're not, oh, I think this is my very first paper bag that I've ever gotten in a Lego set. Look at that. That's pretty cool. We've been waiting for these for a long time. So these custom builds are things that like don't necessarily relate to any existing Lego set, or if they do, they're like way out of the scope of just making one set. So that's trash. Next, it's actually recycling. And I want to get there eventually, and we will get there eventually. And today, so what I've been doing is at the end, I could sort of, you know, I store up whenever I do a bunch of builds, like the Imperial, the El Dorado Fortress that we did, or all of those Mediterranean-inspired buildings or Middle Eastern-inspired buildings that we did. And, like, I need certain parts to finish those builds. Wow, paper bag for the small parts. But this is still kind of a plasticky bag. I guess they couldn't use just paper or everything would fall out, but literally never touched one of these before. It's kind of interesting. So when I finish a build that needs more parts, like those ones that I named, what I try to do, is this recyclable? Help me out here, Lego. I don't understand. Maybe it's the idea is not about making it recyclable yet, but more about making it so they slowly reduce the amount of waste that they're creating. I don't know. Anyway, so I finish a build like that. Don't need that either. And the idea is I order the parts, and it takes up to a month, sometimes longer, especially in the last few months of the year. It can take quite a long time for Lego parts to start coming in. And so idea is I store those nearly completed. Oh, this is a junior build, so it's going to be pretty slow. I store those sets that are almost completed, except for the parts that I'm waiting on, and then finally, literally like 2 months later, the parts will come from Lego, and we finish the build. And then it can finally go into the city after all of that. This is gonna be so annoying. That's fine. It's hopefully the only junior build of the day. But the thing is, I'm kind of lazy. So, you know, it takes a lot of effort to, like, go through a set of parts that you, like, ordered for another project and, like, start allocating them to the various sets that they go to. Like, I have some really detailed, like, notes files that tell me, like, where everything goes. What I'm learning to do, though, is to really try to split it up into different shipments. So, like, the second I hit that minimum order dollar amount from Lego, to just go ahead and order that, so that it doesn't, like, I don't want massive amounts of parts coming in for a bunch of different projects at once, or it just gets, like, really hard to sort of keep track of it all, and then it creates procrastination, and then we wind up with not only a backlog of unbuilt sets, which is bad enough, but also a backlog of unused parts, which is particularly brutal. Takes a lot longer to go through. So, I don't know. So the idea today is I really need to get this Lego farm out of my working space. It's been sitting there for literally like months and months. And that is a parts build. So hypothetically, I'm going to lay out the farm. I'm going to lay out the parts from the order that were associated with that farm. And we're going to build it. And then we'll get it out of the way, which should be really cool. It should be pretty relaxing to, like, go through what's basically just a glorified parts stream. But we'll see. we'll see how much chaos ensues based on basically how big did I make that first order before I pressed go, which could have been a bit of a questionable decision there. So we'll see. And like I'm already failing this metric. Like I already have stacked up a bunch of different orders that aren't done yet. Like it's literally, this is work. Like all of this is work, you know, and sometimes it's hard to make time for it all, but that's what we're gonna do. Of course, like I wanted to make sure that when we finish today, no matter what happens, I feel that I've at least accomplished a little bit. So I actually pulled aside. I love cars and I love Star Wars starships because I very rarely have to add any pieces to them, especially if they're new in box, like these 4 sets that I set aside are. So I think the first hour of what we're going to do today is just going to be building these 4 super easy little cars, which can go straight into the city. Like there's no need for any extra parts, no need for any sorting or thinking whatsoever. And that way, no matter what state we finish things up in at 5 o'clock Eastern or a little bit later, we can at least feel like we got somewhere. Like, so help me, I really hope we at least finish the farm, but we're going to see. And maybe it's a bad idea to, you know, start with the parts like this, but I don't know. I feel like I just need I know that I'm going to need a win, especially if we get bogged down a little bit. So this is kind of me setting myself up to have like a little win. And there's obviously other sets, like we have some Star Wars that we could build, but for right now, this is what we're going to work with. We're just going to knock out these 4 little sets before I think too much about it, and then we'll get to the craziness that is working with a parts build for the first time on stream, actually. So I do have my notes pulled up. I'm hoping it won't be too crazy. Actually, probably the hardest thing is going to be, since I have a bit of a backlog with that, like identifying exactly what, look, they're forcing me to build this the slow way, identifying exactly which bag of parts from Lego will actually match to which one. Now, I have some of them labeled. So here's the thing about this. So Lego sends you these bags of parts in 2 waves. So first they send you, if you're in the United States, first they send you... oh, by the way, this connection is kind of cool. Like this car was set up so it can still be swapped with like, there's like the Lego Racers game that released last year. I don't own it, but like the whole idea was the cars, you could swap out their fronts and backs. This guy's got some sandwich and it's like a Gatorade bottle or water bottle or something in his trunk, which seems like a place for that stuff to get overheated and possibly cause you some smell, but what do I know? So the first bag comes, if you're in the United States, the first bag comes from like Romeoville, Illinois, and that's for bestseller parts, which is a lot more parts these days than you would think. But then for those few specialty parts that you ordered, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, unfortunately. And those parts are gonna be shipped from the factory abroad. They're gonna be shipped from Denmark, and that's the part that takes like months to get here. Which is why when it's possible, like sticking to using bestseller parts is a really smart strategy. Because then you can get going with your build in like literally a matter of a couple of days instead of having to wait, like I was talking about, for all that to come in from Denmark. But it's not always possible. Like, especially like for me, like I use all these specialized pieces and like there's some things that I really want in a specific color. And like, I don't know, you kind of do what you can. There we go. Nice little sports car. This makes me think of like a Chevy Camaro or something, which is why I liked it. Couple of extra pieces, already on to the next one. Next up in our little small catch-up builds, I guess I could also do, I have 2643. I have the TIE Fighter and X-Wing matchup from Lego, I forget what it was called, Rebuild the Galaxy, it was called. But I think I might just do that on like, that's like a nice self-contained build, although it is a couple hundred parts, unlike these little sets that we're working on here. So that first one was a Chevy Camaro. This is going to be a cotton candy stand on wheels, which is kind of neat because we have a couple things like this sort of throughout the city. So I'll save that one and make sure that we actually get to the parts build today. Otherwise, it'll never happen. Plus, I really need to get that farm over to the city. Like I said, I got to have the place ready for an event that's coming up soon. So this bag at least is numbered with a few more parts than the last one. So it's not juniorized. We'll be able to, oh, there's an option. Build it your way. 2 different options. I don't know. Feels like Lego Dreams or something. So, yeah, we'll see about all of that. We're just going to kind of see what the flow is. But like I said, this first hour, literally by 1500 Eastern, we are going to be done with all 4 of these sets. We're already going to feel like we accomplished something. And we're going to crack open the farm. And then if we putter around and kind of fail for the rest of the stream, we'll still have accomplished, like, something, you know? And, like, I feel like that's kind of important to me. This character is Leon. So the next question would be, all right, how much else did I order? How many other builds are going to be in the same couple of bags as that farm build is? Actually have a fair few other like loose, because I just did my like big purchase of a bunch of 2024 sets that were all about to like be on deep discount on Amazon. So like I have a ton of little sets like these lying around. Like I guess I also have the X-Men jet. I have Sonic facing a lizard. And I guess that's it, which that's not too many things, but still, like, if I just make this just like a build random stuff stream, like, first of all, it's not really quite as interesting as doing something custom. Like, the goal here is always going to be to getting to building something custom. But second of all, like, there's different kinds of backlogs, and I really try to attack the backlog that's like the like random cardboard that's laying around everywhere, because otherwise it'll just continue to pile up and pile up, and like we don't want that. So this character is Jamila. It's kind of warm in here. I'm usually cold, but for once I'm actually warm. It's kind of nice. I don't know, if we finish like way before 3, maybe I'll have a different perspective. Way before 1500, I might have a different perspective, and I might open up some more of those backlog sets just to like panic build, just to like panic. Like literally, this is what I try to do. Like if I place a big, so let's say it's like the end of a quarter and like Amazon's gonna like discount like all the Lego sets from the last half a year, and I bought a whole bunch of them either because like there was something that I saw where I'm like I could make something out of that, or like whatever the reason. So like I literally like kind of triage this stuff when it comes in, where I'm like anything like these 4 cars here, or the Sonic versus the Lizard, or the X-Wing tie whatever, like all of that stuff, I try to like triage that really hard and just like get it done. Just don't let the backlog build. You've got to you can't let the backlog build up, or it will annihilate you. So like that's kind of how I try to do it. Let's put this Camaro over at the edge here. That's fine. That's fine. Because the backlog will annihilate you if you're not careful. And then you just have a million Lego boxes laying around. And then, like Antilles was saying last week, then, like, your partner or your friends are like, you're addicted. And your partner's like, you're taking all of our space. And, like, no, you gotta, like, you can't do that. You can't do any of that stuff. I don't have any of that stuff, but still, like, I don't know. I don't want to get behind. So actually, maybe, so when the big stuff comes in, so like, let's say Amazon did a big sale and I ordered some stuff, and it's like, this one's here's a building, and then here's a bunch of standalone stuff. Like, I try to like, I pull it all out, and you kind of triage it a little bit, and you go, all right, this building, looks like this is like the syrup for the cotton candy. This building, okay, cool. I'm going to set that aside because that's going to take a stream so that I can actually work on it. And more importantly, because when I finish it, I know that I'm going to have to order some parts to like fit it into the grid of the city. We got kind of a sneak peek of that when I first built the like Mediterranean quarter sets before, but like we didn't finish that stream. We're having trouble finishing our streams, and we're not going to finish today either. But what we are doing a really good job of doing is significantly reducing the backlog by choosing these sets that, with the exception of the Mediterranean quarter, like just don't need that many more pieces. So you can just hit it and quit it. You can just build it and be done, which is important. And it's lucky for me that like the the theme that I kind of like quote unquote collect the most, where like they print it, I buy it, not 100%, but to a fairly large degree, Lego Star Wars also is like a theme that I almost never have to add parts to, thank goodness, unless I'm doing some kind of custom build, and then sometimes I have to like think about how I want to like do different things or what I'm going to do with the leftover pieces. But for the most part, usually it's pretty self-contained. Just absolutely whipping through these little builds here. It's a good, like I said, it's a good way to get kind of like warmed up as we're on stream today. You just triage them, and then like you can start a stream, and then no matter what else happens, you feel like you've gotten somewhere. Now that being said, for me, since my goal is kind of to try to like move some things over to the city, I should probably not be focusing on just eliminating boxes, but you can't win them all. You can't win them all. So using this honeycomb piece for the cotton candy here. Okay, that actually looks pretty convincing when I set them on the side of the stall here, like 2 cotton candies ready to go. Order up. I don't think that we've used these white battle droid arms yet, so we'll have to see where they think those are going. And we're just absolutely zooming. We're just trying to do whatever we can to just keep up the speed here. And there is, so the skeleton arm is a hitch that can attach this to. I would love a little place to put this helmet, but I haven't been given one. They're like, you can put it on there, but it actually doesn't stay on there, so that's kind of like, okay guys, let's see if I use this piece here. And then maybe also this piece. Now the helmet can stay on there. All right, great. This girl is totally texting while she's driving, but that's okay. She's also carrying the other girl with her while she's driving, which seems a little crazy, so. There they go. Another one done with the cotton candy man. Take the printed pieces, set those aside so I don't have to fish for them later. Take the other pieces, dump those in the extras. Extra pieces is another thing that I'm going to have to sort through at some point, but can't let the backlog grow, folks. If you let the backlog grow, it's all over for your like organization. Got a nice little relaxing playlist going on here, kind of appropriate for like Animal Crossing or something. So this next set is from Animal Crossing, and I actually think this might be the first Animal Crossing set that I have ever built, ever. So it's going to be interesting. So I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to remove these characters because I'm going to have all the for now. So okay, I really loved Lego. What was it called? Chima. Like, I loved that those animal people, they looked like very much like fantasy animal people. So they made me think of like animal people in like fantasy games or Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. Dwarf Fortress is the one that I actually really think about. I am supporting you, Brickset, just not right here. Whereas the Animal Crossing people, they look like people. They look like they look like Animal Crossing people. I don't know what to say. So my ultimate plan for Animal Crossing is the following. I am going to build a strip mall for my residential area with some of the Animal Crossing shops and like the museum and stuff, because they're all pretty small. So my residential area, that's a 32 by 24 profile for each lot, and I feel like yeah, see, like, look at this head for this sloth character. This isn't good for, like, a animal man, but it's totally good because it's oversized, basically. But it's totally good for what it is. And I think that, like, the fans of Animal Crossing are just super happy that they got to have this character, actually. And look, he has a little hat that can go on his head. That's cute. And it's cute that it's a separate piece. So we'll put you right there, buddy. I know we're so zoom in here. It's crazy. So this camper van. So I'm gonna take the Animal Crossing figures. I'm gonna set them aside. I'm gonna let them join the rest of their townsfolk in that strip mall area, or in the couple of houses dedicated to Animal Crossing people, which is a steadily expanding theme. Line is the word I was fishing for there. But not one that I'm collecting. Like, I don't have enough of an attachment to Animal Crossing that, like, if Lego prints something, I'm gonna get it for sure. Like, I'd rather just kind of continue to be a little bit judicious. But the sets that I do get, for whatever reason, I don't know, like, I can keep using those. Looks like an automatic waterer here. So yeah, but I got this camper van not for the because it's Animal Crossing, although it's nice to have the little sloth figure, but rather because it's a nice camper van, and I'm kind of oh, this is a really useful printed piece. We got 3 vegetables, but just because it's a nice camper van, and so I can put it with other camper vans in a camper van collection. I don't know. Well, I don't know what you want from me. So I'm going to do that, but all the rest of the Animal Crossing sets that we have, and we have a couple, but we also have a few more on like our wish list that we're watching over time, can all be just set aside for now, because so that actually goes perfectly back to the triage. So let's say I bought like a couple of different Animal Crossing sets. This is not going to require any part modification. Actually, it's part reduction, because I'm taking out a couple characters and putting them in a different set of the city. Whereas the camper van I'm going to store in my like bin of cars. Sunflower seeds on a little printed brick here. It's nice that it seems to be almost all printed bricks for Animal Crossing, or maybe totally all printed bricks, which is pretty neat. So in the triage, let's say I had bought a couple of Animal Crossing sets at once. I knew that this one is one that I could just set aside as something that I was going to do quickly on some day, and wasn't going to take like a whole lot of extra effort. Whereas if like villager houses, those I'll need to like get some other parts to like put them on the grid in the residential section. So I would pull those aside. I'd set them in the big pile for the next time I do work on like residential stuff, and then this just went in the like build this as soon as possible to prevent your backlog from building up pile, which is why we're doing it really quickly right now before we take on a harder task. Another printed piece here, a little printed like foresty license plate. I guess that's like the license plate motif for these Animal Crossing friends. Made a mistake there. First mistake of the stream. It's always notable, but it's a small one. Yeah, I mean, presumably the stream will get a lot more interesting once I actually move over to doing that other stuff. But for now, I'm just like, I don't know, like, why not manically build some stuff like a crazy person? Okay. We're already on set 3 of the day, so like, maybe I should really kind of learn about my streaming software a little bit more and, you know, learn some cool things like how many sets have we built today, which only makes sense when we're doing like backlog builds like we're temporarily doing at this exact moment. Also, I love this little teal car. This is giving, like, it's a nice little car design. It kind of reminds me of like the little 4-wide designs that used to be more common in City, like in the like 1990s and 2000s. Now mostly City has moved to 6-wide, but if they'd had all these parts back then, they might have done something more like this. Oh, that fits perfectly. A lot of surprisingly neat like synergy here. Also, once we do move into the parts build, the custom build, it's going to be like a totally different vibe, because I'm going to be like constantly referencing like my notes, referencing like the color picker. This goes here. These are all extra parts. Got this squirrel character now. Both of these bags look pretty small. So like, again, normally 3 bags could take us up to like 30 minutes, but with no stickers and when we're just like zooming like this whole thing is going to be pretty small. It's going to be pretty small. Okay, we have a cute little... So this squirrel has like reddish, dark red skin color. Again, look at the like squirrel like head. Like it's very neat for what it is, but it's not like something that I would use in like my fantasy section. All right, we have some money. Do we get an extra money piece? Only 1 money piece? That seems kind of strange that wouldn't be. We do get an extra money piece. I feel like these money pieces I'm going to keep within their sets. Even though they're extras, I'm not going to put them in my extra zone because I feel like these Animal Crossing people are going to need all the money they can get to do all their purchasing and buying in the strip mall. It's going to be a very strange experience to be like a regular Lego person and you like go into this strip mall and you're like, I want my passport photo done, or I want to, one of them is I'm going to do like a travel agency. And it's like, cool, all the people here are weird animal people or people dressed up in animal costumes, which like, it's like I have a, I do actually have, one area of the city, the hotel actually, I have like, from like the collectible minifigures, some like people dressed up in animal costumes because that's their hobby. But those look like people dressed up as animal people, whereas this just looks like, you know, if you're going to like a convention in a hotel, you expect to see some people dressed up as animals. But like, if you just are like walking to the random strip mall and you're like, hey, I want to like talk to my local small town travel agency, you're not expecting all the staff to be animal people. And I think that's kind of funny. And when my little builds, you know, kind of make me cackle a little bit like that, that's when I'm like, all right, I'm probably doing something that's giving the city a little bit of character, making it a little bit different than everybody else's city. So why not? Let's do that. Okay, looks like this is our little in-unit. Oh, why is the fork like that? This is kind of an interesting build. It's our in-unit cooking apparatus. Always keep the extra fork within the set because nobody has like 1 fork, although there was actually a pretty funny scene in Marvel where I think Kate Bishop only has 1 fork. I just stumbled across that in a meme today. But like, if you only have 1 fork, that's like unwelcoming to your guests. So like, obviously you have to have more than 1 fork. I also don't understand why we're not putting another stud down right there. There's not really any good reason for that, especially since we're gonna have... What am I missing here? Oh, because that's the wrong placement. That's what I'm missing. Second mistake. They will slow us down, but they will not defeat us. Well, anyway, this Leaf character is... Do I know if Leaf is the sloth or the reddish-brown squirrel? Nope, I have no idea. But we're going to make sure that whoever they are, they have 2 forks. Because they're not a terrible host. Unlike Kate Bishop. Alright, now the music's a little too calm. I'm not trying to fall asleep here. And I do think today's going to be a day where we stop the stream pretty close to 1700 Eastern on the dot. Just because, like, I feel like there's still a lot to do. This is a new piece for me. It's kind of interesting. Kind of useful, though. Seems like a natural evolution of the piece that we used here to make the awning for this cotton candy cart. In fact, let's look at them together. So this one, it goes 1 higher. So it goes on top of a full brick, whereas the cotton candy piece goes on top of 2 plates, which has been useful for probably 30 years, but it was time for the next evolution of Lego brick building. the other fork around here somewhere. I guess we'll put it in the sink. That seems like a reasonable place to put it. Hope that's not a toilet. This is going to be a very small camper van, clearly, but it's fine. Because it is still 6 wide, which is what we were looking for. The car is only 4 wide. The camper van is 6 wide. Maybe it's bigger than I thought it was. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be a little bigger than I initially thought. That's fine. Looks like those are, we just made some places where the wheels can be. There's another one of our foresty license plates, which would be a nice extra piece because we could kind of tie that together, make it the banner of the shopping mall or something, or even the whole town. Some nice, very nice printed pieces. Always love when we don't have to use any stickers. I can clearly see that there's some stickers coming up in the next camper van we're going to make over to the side there, but there's not much to be done about that. I also like that the sides open up on this one. It's kind of neat. Another printed piece for a little clock. Very small clock, 1x1 clock. Potentially useful. Little 3-wide bed, which is a great width for minifigures. 3x5, it looks like. Now time to make the other folding side. Might remember we made another camper van when we made the that Bricklink designer program, Forest and Nature Scene, which was very nice. Of course, that would be just dramatically more detailed than something like this. Just with a much higher part count, trying to squeeze in every detail they can squeeze in. That's okay. It looked beautiful in the end. It is no longer here. It's placed in the forest. One more small potted plant besides the bed. It doesn't appear to even be in a pot, actually. It kind of just seems like it's some stray plant. Maybe it's some eucalyptus for this sloth to eat. Sloths don't eat eucalyptus. I don't know what they eat. What do sloths eat? Leaves, I think. They just eat tree leaves. But you get the idea. And there's that fun new piece again. And then I can see that we're building up towards adding a roof. But before we do that, we need to close off this other section here, preferably without knocking out the window and taking the fork out of the sink. Oh, this is going to be kind of hard to get to. There and there. Oh, I'm putting it in wrong. That's the problem. There. Much easier. 2 of these. That could have been a 1x2 plate, but okay. Yep. Everything as expected, pretty much. And then I guess we're probably going to make like an air conditioning unit on top or something. Yep. Or actually, I don't know what this is. Oh, I guess this is the wheels, the trailer for the wheels. Yeah. Goes on the bottom. That's kind of neat. It's sort of a recessed wheel bed. I feel like that's a useful building technique that we could learn a little bit from. And then we have some plate and a boat slider, to allow this to rest when it's not being towed around by the car. And one there. And it's actually pretty sturdy. It's simple, it's blocky, it looks like it came from a video game, but it kind of gets the job done. Right at the half-hour mark, we're rolling. We keep it moving. Now we're going to do a Lego City holiday camper van. This one is 6454. Eliminate the backlog. You attack the backlog. You show no mercy to the backlog. Otherwise, the backlog will show no mercy to you. So this camper van is going to be 6 wide in the front, and it looks like 8 wide all the way in the back. The other thing I was supposed to do was keep building all those old Lego Star Wars sets from like the very first stream, which I have not gotten back around to doing. There's like, truly there's always something more that you could be working on, but you gotta have some balance in your like weekend time as well. And this is at least getting rid of boxes, so it counts for something. All right, so we did a set with, we literally went like 1, 2, 3, 4 in terms of bags. That can go away. Here we go again. So we'll be done with this. This is 400-ish pieces. So I would say this could take us This will take at least 20 minutes to build. Possibly a little bit less. I like this guitar here. I like this croissant too. I like a croissant. I thought I had a big enough meal, but as it inches back toward mealtime, perhaps I will suffer instead. Classic little fire pit build here. Nothing special. Goes in the forest, so it's ungridded. Yeah, I want to be playing a guitar over a campfire with a croissant because s'mores are suspiciously absent for now. All right. Okay, so we got a Technique frame for this camper van. That's when you know things are heating up, things are getting serious. Is actually going to be very sturdy. It already feels like this could just as easily be the start to like a Star Wars starfighter or something, as opposed to just a camper van, a car. This is going to be a long camper van too. This is going to be serious. Printed piece. I guess for the temperature control for the fridge. That seems like an oddly specific piece to print, but okay. Oh, I don't think it's the fridge. I think it's the on-site air conditioning unit. Camper vans sometimes have something like that. I guess we're going to have them on both sides. The on-site temperature control. Pretty symmetrical build so far. And it is more detailed than anything else we've built yet today, but of course, but we're still zooming through it nonetheless. It's big, but it's not huge. Sometimes I like to ask myself stuff like, is working on this build aligned with my objectives for the weekend? And like kind of how I want to feel when I wrap up the weekend this time or stuff like that. And like, I definitely would love to finish the farm. And I think there's a couple other things that I ordered the parts for in that same order. I know the Lego golf course is one of them, the mini golf course. But like, as nice as it will be to get that out of there, and as nice as it will be to get the Lego Star Wars that I have half built out of here as well, like also like anytime I can remove a box, like that's generally a pretty good thing too. So it all kind of goes in the same direction. Doesn't help that I got started like 2 hours late too, so I'm going to take a third of the remaining default stream time to be doing random builds, maybe more if we add some of the other stuff. But also, like, we can take a break and we can always come back to some of the other stuff. But the thing is, like, it comes down to what can you do at different times. So, like, what I'm trying to do with the farm that I'm procrastinating on right now, like, that's just not something I can do after, like, a long work day and then working out and then coming home after both a long work day and working out in two directions of commute. And, like, kind of sit down and still have sort of the mental energy to do something that really requires, like, thinking work like that. That's really more of what Sundays and Saturdays are for. But boo-hoo. Whereas like popping open sets like these, popping open like Lego Star Wars. So there, like I said, I think there's 3 more sets at the moment that I have laying around that are like easy wins. There's TIE Fighter X-Wing, there's Sonic, and there's X-Men Jet. And like those are something that I can build in the middle of at the end of a work day, which much. That's why I should be saving them so that I can still, you know, continue pushing through everything this week, but I'm being lazy. Here, let's take a quick look. So I'm popping open my, okay, the order from October 28th. So the big things in this order are the farm, the farmland. We have the working mini golf course. A couple extra pieces, extra pieces, extra pieces. Oh, I have my custom lake build. Some pieces for 3 residential houses. A whole beach. And 2 more mocks. Okay. So those mocks I was going to save all the way till July. But I'm not going to focus on getting through everything that was in this order today. Just the farm. And then if we have a little bit of time, the mini golf course would be nice too. So like this isn't... It's not totally impossible that I might get that done in like 2 hours. And again, I should stay eyes on the prize a little bit here, but knocking out these 4 as a warm-up build definitely felt good. Will have felt good. I don't need to add those next couple of slightly larger builds in order to make that work. Oh, the other thing I wanted to search for was, I'm trying to remember if I ordered, there's a set of custom instructions to, let's see, Dune. It does not look like I ordered them. I have the Dune Ornithopter ready to build, but like people complain that there's like a lot of like blue Technique pieces and stuff like that showing through. And there's a pretty easy modification that doesn't take that many parts to fix that. But you want to go ahead and do that while you're building the set, or else you'll have to redo the whole thing. So I am going to hold off on building Dune until I know that I've ordered those parts. Which I guess I'll order soon in the same order that I'm going to do the parts for El Dorado and the parts for... why they're using some of the pieces they're using here, like these blue teeth for headlights. This is a slightly newish piece to me, although I think it's probably not new to people who've been building a bunch of Lego cars. It's kind of just a natural extension of the idea of some other pieces that I do already know about. But I mean, that's all new Lego pieces when you see them these days. You usually go, oh yeah, I can see why they were like, we'll have use for that in the future. That was a new piece for me too. It's kind of neat. Obviously taking us a lot longer to build up to being done with this one than it did to do the little Animal Crossing caravan. But that's okay. Another new piece for me. Makes sense, though. Oh, I love the use of the little treasure boxes there. These are actually wand boxes from Harry Potter. Doors open and close. We have some side mirrors. Guess I'll set this down for a little bit. Sticker time. First up is sticker number 6. Just gonna whip that right out. Then sticker number 4. These are applied kind of sideways, so I better check to make sure that I actually have mountains facing upward. Yep, that looks like mountains, and that looks like mountains. This whole camper van is clearly all about mountains, mountain climbing, mountain whatever. We'll see how much living apparatus are in this one. Okay, looks like we're building our stink and stove combiner. Sink and stove. Stink and stove. It's a little bit more ornate than... Oh, we got a coffee brewer here. Look out. These people are serious. A little more ornate than what we got in Animal Crossing, but not that much more. Pretty big. It's almost like a truck. It really doesn't look like a camper van right now so much as a giant truck. I think it's even bigger than the last camper van, Lego camper van I built from a couple years back. It's gonna have a baby, because you always have a baby when you're going hiking in Lego City, apparently. Which really raises some very interesting questions. Actually just saw a baby in one of these little front carrier things today. I love the little baby heads. Got some little furniture that they take with them. But we're not going to put it in the car quite yet. Right back to building. Bottom section with the chassis keeps trying to come off, which is interesting. There we go. Looks like we're going to have a total big side opening here. You can usually tell that's coming when they start throwing in some tiles instead of plates or bricks like so. So now we've got, I think this will have ended up taking us a little longer than 30 minutes here. We're already 20 minutes in to finish those 2 bags. So I guess we're back to more like traditional bag sizes here as opposed to the very small bags that we had for the 3 very small sets. That's a new piece for me. I always pay attention when I see new pieces because sometimes they are like totally innovative in terms of maybe a problem that I've long identified or something I've wanted to do in the city for a long time. so I am always watching for that. But none of the stuff we've seen today has been particularly game-changing. A lot of what you see these days is simply new pieces that are actually just, oh, this one's printed. What the heck? Okay. New pieces that are literally just two older pieces stuck together, which is totally fine. I got this in the wrong spot. I do. And this one's a sticker. Sticker number 5. We got bunk beds here. Okay, that's really cool, actually. Again, the bed size is 3x5, just like in the Animal Crossing. We know that's a pretty good dimensions for a Lego minifigure bed. But seeing the bunk bed sort of built into the car, it's not only great Lego design, it's like something that would make a lot of, just would absolutely make sense if we were designing this this camper van with real world materials. Like, we'd be like, oh. I got a family photo that we're going to put on this piece. Which we can actually line up like so. That looks a bit better. Looks like this is a sliding door to the bathroom. And that's actually really neat. You don't always see... this is actually a really cool build. It's hard to talk about what exactly it is, but this is really well done. You don't always see bathrooms in Lego City. They're more common in themes like Lego Friends and some other themes as well. But this is really a well-designed one. Oh my gosh. All right, 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes to go, and we're on to bag 4. So we won't quite finish these 4 sets in 1 hour, but we're going to be really stinking close, which is pretty cool. I don't know, maybe I should believe. The dream is real. We finish. I don't believe. It's the stickers. I blame the stickers. Looks like folks are watching a gorilla documentary on TV here. Perfectly heralded by the recent re-emergence of gorillas into Lego City. I don't think I got the gorillas, actually. I think I did not. I know they're on a wish list, whether it's the animal part or the set that they were included in, I can't recall. Okay, so we'll want to set these side by side so we can align the last sticker, amusingly labeled sticker number 1. I love just tossing the bags out of there and dealing with them after the stream. We might make it. I keep watching the time, and we're really zoom in on this. And now we're done with stickers, too. Wow, this is a large, large removable door. Slidable door. I mean, again, this camper van is massive. It really reminds me more of the build that came with the Blues Club, the Jazz Club modular 2 or 3 years ago that was like a moving van, where you had like a upright piano that you could move and stuff like that. Oh, it literally rotates on the last stud. That's surprising. It's just big. It's got that same kind of boxy build. Like, you could really move your whole life in here. I guess this Lego family paid the premium price for the best Lego camper van on the market, which, hey, kudos to them if they can afford it. They're going to be the premium at the... although I think that the camper van from that Bricklink Designer Program set was kind of a little bit more primo. Although, it did not come with a car to actually tow the camper van, so I guess it kind of... That's the one loss there. Although I probably have something in my collection that I could use to fill that need if I really thought about it. But I'm not looking at the forest diorama right now, so it doesn't matter. Okay, we've got a trapdoor to offer roof access. See, look how big the roof is. This is massive. We are going to finish on time. The dream was real. Look at that. 30 minutes for like a 500-piece set. Definitely not a waste of time. Because we are very warm now. Actually, we're so warm that I'm really, really tempted to just whip out some of those other sets. But I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. This is a new piece to me. Skylight piece. And I guess we're going to do this twice, huh? Nope. Just once. That's actually kind of interesting how they covered up the trapdoor there. We didn't use a traditional Lego trapdoor piece. We just kind of covered it up. Then we have this. I got to remember that this is actually a really, really good way to warm up, especially if I'm going to be doing something technical. Boom, look at that. All right, now we just have to put wheels on. Wheels and possibly hubcaps, looks like. Okay, I'm putting metal grills on the inside. Mind. I'm definitely not doing that. Grills inside, inside, outside, outside. And then the hubcaps. Pop, 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 pop. 500 pieces in 27.5 minutes. That's about as fast as we get. Boom. Okay, well, we just made a bunch of little extraneous builds. We're going to take a quick break for sure, but before we do, let's just take a look at what else is on the docket in terms of potentially quick things that we could build. So there, before to procrastinate. So there's the Marble X-Men jet. This is 400 pieces. So that would be pretty quick. There is Supersonic Super Shadow versus Bio Lizard, which is 400 pieces. So that's pretty quick. And then let me grab the X-Wing. X-Wing is 1,000 pieces. So this is probably would probably be a full hour and a half. So that we're definitely going to leave towards Monday. Definitely going to leave that for tomorrow night, I think. So I'll just put that beside me. But so this is a total of 700 pieces. We could do this in under an hour. So if we actually like super zoom through the farm, I might pick up one or both of these, or I guess I could do them tomorrow night if I have more time too. Don't know. Unclear. But none of that is going to be particularly challenging to go through. So, okay, I guess it's time to be responsible. Let's go start figuring out this Lego farm. I'll be right back after a quick break. Okay, so we're back. That was a long break. So this is the part where it gets kind of hard. I'm confident that I have everything I'm looking for around me, but heaven if I know. I guess we just we try to map this out. Okay. It's gonna be challenging, but I think it's all here. Pretty sure it's all here. I see a lot of like farmlandy looking stuff. I think I have in front of me the whole box, which is parts for the correct day. So now we just kind of do something with them. So I have a layout of 16 by 16 squares. Could I share this window? I mean, it might be more valuable than... Yeah, let's try this. Be like, how much can it really hurt to show this notes app? It's fine. Show it there too. So I guess hypothetically what I would do is I would take absolutely all the pieces that I ordered on that day. This is why the orders need to stay very small. I would take all the pieces I ordered on that day, and I would dump them out, and I would start working on all the projects from that day, kind of in a few after, like, in sequence. Which is going to be pretty challenging, but also rewarding. Like, the farm itself is not going to be that hard. It's mostly, like, understanding what I'm even doing with different parts. That's actually the challenge here, which is kind of funny. So I guess I need a workspace of parts. So I'll probably need to shift this farm over as much as I can, which is going to be over there and slightly off screen. Well, it's almost completely on screen. And then I know these are the Lego bestseller parts that I got for that day. And I certainly see a lot of things that are going to be used as part of my crops, so that's okay. Still sealed up from Lego. I won't be able to reseal this once I open it, so that's fine. So first I'll try to take out the biggest, most visible things. So I have these 16 by 16 plates that are for the beach area. And then I have these 8 by 16 plates that are for my medieval area. Yep. The nice part is once I get all these out, then I'm like perfectly set up for all the other builds that I was going to do from this particular order, October 28th. It just takes a while. It just takes a very, very long time. Very, very long time. What else is big that I can pull out? Looks like we have 8 by 16 sandy plates for the beach area, which is sensible. think nobody else seems to be stuck here. Yep. Okay. One more guy is stuck there. Down you go. And then the rest of this, here's some big ugly pieces for, like, I think this is from when we were working on the volcano. Some of that is harkening back to, like, my Instagram work. And then now we know we're in the farm. So let's pour. Actually, I'm going to grab just to make sure I can see everything, I'm going to grab, how big is, I think my rubric mat is too big to go sideways. But I can grab another play mat. Yeah, considering the circumstances, that's pretty good. So we can start to pour stuff out here. And then it's just going to be like building any other set, really. There's not actually that many distinct Lego pieces here. It just kind of looks like a lot because they're unsorted. Got a Lego polar bear. He's not going in the farm, but still pretty neat. So kind of the way we would go about this is we're just going to kind of build whatever we can with what we have. I feel like I should actually keep the baggie for a little bit here. We also have some more plates, more base plates. Pull these out. So here's another 16 by 16 tan. And then these are straight up base plates. Big boys. Blue, dark gray, light gray. I'll keep this plastic baggie in case I need to put stuff back in a reasonably sensible way. And then let's see what was in this one. This was probably a Bricklink order, unfortunately. So the question is this one where it's a lot of the same part or one where it's a bunch of different parts? Okay, it's a small number of different parts, some of which are pretty cool. So again, we'll see if we end up needing... I feel like I did a pretty good job of sorting this before, so I probably will need the stuff that's in there, but I don't need it quite yet, so that's that. And then in here, this is a Bricklink order, but we can see it's going to come with more of what we're going to need to get started right away. And this is a resealable bag, so that's pretty useful. Actually, I probably shouldn't do anything that's not a resealable bag. It sounds like a great way to lose parts. But we've got some small, very small base plates. And then some 16 by 16 base plates. And I think this stack is what we're actually using to build our farmland today. But we'll find that out pretty shortly. So let's set those down. We won't need this bubble wrap. And then in here... Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. So we've got a couple of additional highway pieces, which are really, really amazing and rare find. Another 18 or 16 by 18 dark bluish gray. This might be old gray. I have to double check the order that included the highway pieces, whether it's old gray or not. But also, does it really matter all that much? Not all that much. It might be, though. I'm looking at it, and it looks like it has a different color. So I'm going to keep it aside until I know for sure that it's not. These highway pieces are another example of something that I'm definitely not going to need for quite some time. Resealable bag, very useful. And this was a Bricklink order, which means there's actually relatively few pieces in here, including some more grass pieces. Now, I wrote down that these lime grass pieces are going to be used for the mini golf course, but I think I originally ordered them for the farm. Uh-oh. So the question is, did I go back and order them for mini golf? I don't know. But we know that this is here, in case we need it. And then we can take this box and set it aside, because we're pretty sure we're done with that. Then this, I know exactly what these are. This is a bunch of pieces for my, how do I call it? Parking meters. And this, I wrote, it looks like I took the trouble to say, this is very explicitly more pieces for this order from October 28th. Now, the problem here is that I ordered... I think I flipped the numbers accidentally. Yeah, this is all definitely for this order, because I know kind of what a lot of these parts are, and there's a lot of parts here that we're going to use for farmland. The problem is I flipped the number of... Nice. Nice, nice, nice. A lot of good stuff here. I flipped the number of spring yellowish green. Where are they? Where's an example? Well, these studs with holes in them that make this look so much like grass. I think the original idea... Yeah, look at this. See them all here? Are these from Bricklink? I guess they are. So the original idea was I was going to use this color for the golf course and the much less harsh spring yellowish green for the farm. Ugh. And now so what I have, again, I have my color translator here, so I won't need this anymore. This is indeed October 28th, no question about that. Problem I'm faced with is now when I look at my periodic table of the Lego colors, I look at the lime and I really don't want to use that for the farm. I really want to use spring yellowish green for the farm, and I'm not going to have nearly enough, which means we actually have a major problem, Houston, with this project. But although I say? Park is dark green. I like dark green being the park. You're like, why are you going so crazy over literally the colors of grass in the town? And I'm like, because like it takes forever to uproot this stuff. Once you've placed it, I don't want to use this ugly lime green anywhere. It doesn't look like grass. It doesn't look like farmland. I would have loved to use spring yellowish green. Where is it? Uh-oh, we got a hole in this bag, I think. Yeah, there's some down here. There's not very many of them. But that color, like, I could actually get behind that being a farmland color. Okay. We're currently using dark green. Ultimately, I want to use dark green. There's earth green. Where's earth green? So earth green is going to be the forest. Earth green is going to be the forest. Dark green, I said I wanted to be parks. Lime green looks artificial. It really, like a golf course, like that's a color that you would see on a golf course. Spring yellowish green, that looks kind of like a grain. It does look like a farm. All right, Lego.com. So how quickly can I order a billion spring yellowish green grass? So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to add any more grass. I'm going to place everything else. I'm going to leave this dark green grass in place. Bright green is lawns of houses. It does not exist yet, so for now we use dark green. Yep, I'm still okay with that as lawns of houses. So, all right, so I made a mistake 7 months ago, but I think I know the way forward. I think I like what I laid out, because I really like the idea of using this spring green all the way up here as the farm grass, and I don't like the idea of using the lime green. So I'm not going to mess it up, because if I put down a bunch of studs, I'm just going to have to pull them back up. So we're going to put this back, and we're just going to attack this project a little bit. I don't need to be using my foot pedal or anything. I literally just need to decipher my notes somehow. Okay, so we have more green base plates here from different eras of Lego, but they all get the job done about the same. So we'll put those up here. So many different projects in one little box. Okay, so we're just going to ignore grass. We're just going to not think about grass right now, which is actually a totally workable solution. Okay. So switch, first thing says switch all grass to spring yellowish green. So I'm going to go to my notes. I'm going to say order spring yellowish green grass for farm. And I feel good about this decision, even if it took a while to get there. Literally 18 minutes, bro. It's fine. So now we're going to look at the basically the layout. Next question is, how many Bricklink orders? Because it might be some of these, too. I think it is some of these. I don't have enough space to lay out all the parts that I've ordered. This is pain. Absolute pain. Pretty sure literally all of these are to this set of projects. So we just kind of go through and we find what we can find. I'm looking for 2 1x2 red plates with 2 horizontal bar holders, which are 1x2 red plates with 2 it's this piece right here. This is going to go somewhere eventually. These are the pieces to the golf course, so I don't need to open those up quite yet. Bunch of interesting pieces in this order. I am clearly very disorganized here. Like, I have all the materials, but figuring out how to do this in a way that's effective is clearly something I need to put some more thought into. So I am going to conclude the stream a little bit early. We can clearly see where we're going with this cool farm, but I'm going to just kind of try to figure out some more ways to do this myself. So you guys are great. We will see you next week with a more organized build. But this is what we're going to be ultimately moving towards.